Evening.
Good evening.
On behalf of our president who's absent, and on behalf of our president who's absent, I want to welcome all of you to our regular board meeting, meeting of the trustees for this evening. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, I didn't say that with too much enthusiasm. See, I'm a happy, how can I say it? I don't want to say leader, so I enjoy it. How's everybody doing?
Good.
That's even better. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Trustee Bowman. Present. Trustee Kraft.
Present.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Present.
President Garrett is absent. VP Gross.
Present.
I'm here, and Treasurer Terry.
Present.
You have a quorum, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I always wanted to do this and I missed it. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I always wanted to do that. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda for tonight?
So move.
Moved by Trustee Davis Smith, supported by Trustee Bowman. Questions, concerns, or comments to people? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
And Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awards and recognition, seeing none tonight. Sue? Recognition of any elected officials in the House. Do I see any out there? I just see these beautiful faces on this dais. Thank you. Good to see all of the trustees.
Good to see you
I hope the summer was well.
All is well.
And we're here this is our first meeting, second meeting of the year. Third?
Give or take.
Since school year started, this is the third. Thank you. I know I was right. It's the second. Thank you, madam. Thank you. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Support.
Moved by Trustee Bowman, supported by Treasurer, what is Marcus's last name? Terry. I haven't seen him in a while, so I forgot his last name.
No, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Roll call. Roll call.
Trustee Davis Smith. Yes. VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
And Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Madam Secretary. Information from the Superintendent Administration, Superintendent's reports, Imagine 2022, 2023 accomplishments presentation. Madam Superintendent, the floor is yours.
Thank you. We are excited because we are up and moving in the right direction for our mentoring program across the district. This was one of the first programs that was launched and initiated at Pontiac High School. I thank Tamika Morrow as well as Linda from Kensington. And we have a superstar right here in the audience who did our mentoring video that we've been sharing across the community to promote the mentorship. This is just a snapshot of the work that has been accomplished through the organization of Imagine under Tamika Morrow's leadership, as well as our soror, my soror, and Trustee Hannah's. But I just want to commend the work you have done, starting this whole approach off with mentorship in the high school and making sure that we answered the call from our students in regards to if we don't have role models at home, and this will always touch my heart, what do we do? Who do we turn to? So thank you for the work you have done, and I present you to Mrs. Morrow and the work that she has accomplished at Pontiac High School.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Board, Superintendent, and Administration, guest, for having us and allowing us to do this presentation about this fantastic program called Imagine. We can go to the next slide. So this first slide is a young lady. She was in high school. Her parents were teenagers when she was born. She was born and raised in the city of Flint, Michigan. Grew up in the inner cities of Flint, surrounded around drugs, violence, gang violence. Her parents and no one in her family had ever went to college. But this young lady, if you can see that look of determination in her eyes, she knew she wanted something different. Not only was she going to steal the next base, but she was going to steal and conquer the thing called life. So this young lady was determined to break the generational cycle of poverty. And she did it. She didn't know how she was going to do it. She didn't know which direction to take, but she knew education was the way to make it happen. So she went on her journey of higher education and became very successful. Didn't have anyone to help guide her and still steer her along the way. She was like a trailblazer. But this young lady is this beautiful person that stands before you, Tamika Morrow. So that's me and that's my story. So next slide. So with that story, in my experience, it just birthed this passion in me to go back and reach out to other students in the inner city who may look like me, who may have the same story, who may have the same journey, knew they wanted something different, but didn't necessarily know how to attain it, how to get there, didn't have anyone to talk to, didn't have anyone to kind of lead them and direct them in the right direction. So I chose the city of Pontiac because Pontiac isn't too far from where I live. But this is just some data for the city that I pulled from 2020 census.gov. And can you hear me without the mic? Yeah. Okay. So one of the things, the median household income was listed at $36,000 per year. But even more significant to me, all right. Oh, sweet. The percentage of people aged 25 and older who achieve a bachelor's degree or higher was only 14.3%. And for me, that was alarming because the less education, the less ability to make money, the less your income potential over life, and also the increased risk of continuing the cycle of generational poverty. So that's kind of how we chose the city of Pontiac, and Pontiac High School is near and dear to my heart. So next. So just a little bit of research about mentoring and mentorship program that we conducted before we got started. What I found, several different research articles, but these two in particular just showed the importance of how the relationships and how important the relationships are, relationship building with the students. They noticed that an academic focused only mentorship program wasn't successful. They also noticed the social activity only mentorship program wasn't successful, but it was actually building the relationship with the teenagers that actually had the greatest impact in their overall well-being and especially their academic performance. So next. So I introduce you, Imagine Pontiac. Our goal and vision is to end generational poverty by transforming the way the teens view themselves, education, and the world around them. Next. A little bit about the program. We do tutoring. I'm passionate about education, so we do tutoring. But with that tutoring, though, we empower the students to be resourceful. You know, they always say, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, let's go look at resources. You got Khan Academy, you got all these different resources out here that can help you so you're without excuse, right? So we empower them with resources to be able to help educate themselves and fill in those gaps. But we also do a lot of math drills. And something else you notice, too, we do a lot of faith confessions. And it's really just something to affirm their abilities. So we have them say every week when we get together, I am brilliant. I am successful. I am destined for greatness. I am created to do good. I am smart. I am accepted. I am loved. I am celebrated, you know. And the more they say that, we had one student say, I thought you were just giving us a hard time, making us say this every week. But she said, the more I said it, I actually started believing it. Right. And the more she said it, she started believing it, and it started showing in her grades. Because initially when she first came, her GPA was like a 1 point something. But after she started believing it, then she started getting a 3.0, 3.5, 3.7. And she's been rocking it out and doing her thing. So I'm so proud of her. Another aspect what we do with our mentoring program. So it goes back to that little girl that you saw before. Back when I was growing up, you know, they had the whole thing out there where kids are seen, but not necessarily heard, and that kids couldn't have stress, right? But yet we didn't have maybe adult stress, but we had our own stressors of what we were dealing with in our environment. And I wanted to be able to create an atmosphere, an environment where kids can come and not only be seen, but also heard, where they'll have an adult who cares cares about them, who can help them process, the stressors and the things that's going on in their world and give them some good wisdom and some guidance and direction. So that's a lot of what we do with our mentorship program. And we also build that relationship and let them know not only are we cheering you on, but we're here to support you along the way on your journey to success. So we built those long lasting relationships. We have a few, we finished our second year going to our third year. So the graduates who went off to college, we're still involved in their life. They still be sending me their grades and be looking for those academic achievement awards. They are so funny, but they're doing fantastic. So we let them know it doesn't stop just because you graduate high school. This is a lifelong relationship, a lifelong partnership, and the students really love it. The other element that we do with the program is experiences. So one thing about myself, someone asked me the question, like, when you were younger, what did you dream about? The only thing I ever dreamt about was leaving the hood. I didn't want to live in the hood no more. I didn't want to live in the inner city. But I couldn't really, what am I going to dream about? I don't know what was out there, right? And so it's like when we're here trying to instill hope and trying to inspire these students to want something greater than what they have, how can they dream if they don't know what exists? How can they shoot for the stars if they never seen a star? So a part of our program, what we do is give them different experiences. We take them on college tours. We did our first HBCU college road trip. That was so fantastic. So yeah, we're really excited about that. But we take them on other things. We took them to see some Broadway musicals, 5-star dining experiences. We bring in career panels of different professionals that look like them, from different backgrounds and let them know. Because, how can you say go to college? They'd be like, okay, go to college and do what? They don't know what they want to study. So we bring in the different professionals, doctors, lawyers, judges, you name it. We brought them in and kind of let them, get this visual. Wow, this is out there. This is available for me. And we do leadership building. We even built our own little student leadership board. And they get leadership development and leadership training, and they owned that, didn't they? They were hilarious, but they owned it. It was amazing. So that's a part of what the program is. So although we only meet once a week on Mondays after school, the mentorship component continues throughout the week. So we're continuing to stand in connection, making sure they stand on top of their grades and giving them some tough love when necessary. Next slide. This is a big board of accomplishments. I'm not going to go through each bullet point because I know you guys have other things to do. But just to kind of sum it up, what we want to do is minister to the whole child. So not just push academics, but minister also to their social needs, their emotional needs, their overall just general well-being. When I was growing up, we had a lot of instability as far as where we would live. My parents was teenagers, so we'll get kicked out this house, get kicked out of that apartment. So for some kids, it's just that safety, and meeting those basic physical needs that they have. Some don't have food necessarily. So it's difficult to talk about go and get straight A's and they're hungry and they don't even have the food necessary to, feed their brains. So that's a part of what we do. And the students that, just to kind of give you a picture, when they come and they first start the program, none of the students have aspirations to go to college when they first start. Also, most of them, when you look at their GPAs, I tell them pull their grades up, and most of their GPAs are usually under a 2.0. And a lot of them, they don't have hope. Some don't even think they're going to graduate high school. But the amazing thing is, after being with the program for a year, all their GPAs are going up. A lot of them are above a 3.0 now. The other ones are coming up. There's like, hey, I didn't get a 3.0, but I qualified for something I never qualified before. I was like, hey, we celebrate that too. But also even hope is being restored. Hope is being restored. Students are being inspired. Their way of how they're addressing their home situation is changing. Their behavior in the classroom is changing. So we're making a large impact, and the students are loving it. The mentors are loving it. So it's just an overall great opportunity. Next slide. So here's some pictures from our HBCU road trip that we went on this year. We took them to Washington, D.C. So, of course, we toured some of D.C. We also took them to Howard University, Bowie State University. Then we took them over to North Carolina, did North Carolina A&T, North Carolina Central. I think this right here was at North Carolina Central. I think it was. So they had this thing called the fish bowl, right? Hey, you know, I had to throw a shout out to my sorors. You already know. So I couldn't put the whole fish bowl, but this slide had to make the cut. But it was just beautiful, so just encouraging all those young ladies to don that pink and green when they go to college, So that was some pictures, but they had a phenomenal time though. And then the next slide. This right here is some slides from just different things we did. That's taking Savannah on a college tour. This right here, we took a student to Cedar Point. Just different things. But something I wanted to point out here is looking at this picture here, looking at that picture, and looking at that picture. A lot of the teenagers that have come to the program, and I mean, like I said, been there, done that, know their story, live their story. You know, you're dealing with things that are more adult responsibilities where you don't feel like you can be a kid. And so the opportunity to be able to take them out to play and to be a kid was phenomenal. So to see their smiles on their faces was priceless, and you couldn't even put a tag on it. And so that was another thing that was really, really amazing. And even some of the students come to us, some of them contemplating suicide and self-harming behaviors, all of that's being reversed. You know, these ones who contemplated suicide are now committed to living their best life when we do these vision boards. It's just a phenomenal program. So I think that's it for me. I think next slide. Yes, that's it for me. Ben wanted to come up and say a few things, but I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Before I bring up the superstar. It's so funny. No, I'm not going to call you bougie this time. But thank you so much for allowing us into Pontiac High School and blessing us with this opportunity. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's give another round of applause for Tamika. She's amazing. And I want to thank you, Ms. Superintendent, for the challenge that you set out at the Collaborators Conference. And I mean, it was heard by me. And I think that needs to be said louder and broader. And there will be men and women that step up for that. And I think when I first sat down with Tamika about the program, and by the way, this was a divine appointment because my wife is in a group with Tamika, and it was just like weird when I got back from the conference. I told my wife, I said, yeah, I think I'm supposed to mentor in Pontiac High School or Pontiac School. She's like, oh, well, my friend actually just started. I'm like, this is crazy. Okay. But I was so I've been in business my whole career. Managed people, not afraid to like be in large rooms, but I never mentored, never thought I could. My kids are small, so I don't know what it's like to deal with teenagers just yet. It's a bit daunting, but Tamika, and I said, Tamika, I don't have, I come from a privileged background. I know this, and I didn't have challenges growing up that these kids are challenged with. And she's like, they just need you to show up, man. They just want you to be, and she goes, you got to be consistent. You can't just be there one time. And, you got to, because they need to keep seeing you. And I think when she was talking about long-term relationship and, really creating that lasting connection, the kids need to build that trust to see you there. If you're not there, then they're like, who's this dude that just came in like once, every few months, right? This is not a priority for them, but it is a priority. And I mean, Tamika just makes it so amazing for the mentors to jump in. We just had our planning meeting last night, and it's so awesome to see new mentors come in and, having us pick topics to talk about. And I feel like everybody has, even though I feel like I really didn't have anything to offer the kids, I think there are topics that we can talk about, like, and speak into these kids and give them hope and show them joy. I mean, you saw the pictures of the kids, and there's a couple of them, they didn't look like that in the beginning of the year. They didn't smile like that in the beginning of the year. And I mean, just seeing that change, and I mean, that college road trip was awesome. First of all, it's a lot to have a lot of like high school. Like when she was going through the rules of the chaperones, I was like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? Like, do I need to patrol the hallways in the hotel? Like, what's happening? But I mean, they were like very well behaved, and they were there for the right reasons. But we had a blast, trust me. And the amazing thing, it actually happened. It coincided with Juneteenth, and I'm actually from Washington D.C. So I live about 5 blocks from Howard. And I told Tamika, I said, let me plan out a day for Juneteenth. And there was so much stuff going on in DC, and the kids had a blast. We had so many, you should have done the videos with the dancing. And I mean, it was so amazing. And just seeing the joy on their face, it does, I know we're here to support the kids, but for the mentors, I mean, the blessings that we receive through this is just amazing. So, and I guess my last thought to you guys is, what else can we do to expand the mentorship program? Like, what else is there? I mean, there are people that want to jump in, and just let us know what can we do. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from the board? Trustee Bowman.
Just wanted to say thank you all so much. It's important that our young people have someone to look to and that is consistently showing up for them. So thank you all so much, because it helps our community thrive. It helps our community. The young people coming up through the ranks, the better opportunities they see, they can come out and grab it and bring it back home. So thank you so much for being consistent and showing up for our babies.
Thank you. Trustee Kraft.
Yes, and I'd like to thank you also. And I can go back and reflect on a time back when I was in the 7th grade, and I only went up to Columbia College with the Urban League for a weekend.
Urban League.
And basically, we didn't have what you guys had there. And I still remember it. I was like in the 7th grade. Those are lifelong experiences, and you are creating those. And those are the things that set that pattern, for success.
Excellent.
So thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Secretary.
Yeah. Hey, yes. Thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for caring enough just from your experiences and just wanting that for somebody else, for establishing this. It means a lot. We know what it's like to be adults and have our children to be in situations where they don't have anyone else to help them. So just having the boldness to step out and do something to make a difference, it really matters. So we, on behalf of the board, I'm sure I can say this,
Absolutely.
we so appreciate you and the work that you're doing and just the commitment. And thank you for being brave enough to do it. It does matter. We never know how much one little thing you can do, it impacts a whole child's life. So I appreciate you for being there and just being willing to give of yourself in such a way. So thank you, Sora.
Before my comments, a couple questions. How many students, if I missed that, were involved?
On average, we have about 15 students.
Wonderful.
That was like a nice base that usually come every week. And then sometimes that number, I think the highest we had at one given point in time was like 32 students. So
And this is
usually-
continuous through the school year?
Yeah, continues through the school
And
year.
you're doing that now? And
Well, we launch October 2nd.
okay.
So they're already texting me, are we starting today? Like, not today.
I love it. I
October
love it.
2nd.
I love it. I love it. This touches me personally because for about 15 years, I was involved in the program through Michigan Works Job League through Oakland schools. And we did exactly what you're doing. And the tours itself, we actually were able to go as far as Florida and we went over to Louisiana in one of the trips. But DC was one of our favorite trips with the students. And the experience that I obtained from being with these kids, and like you said earlier, to this day, Mr. Groves, I really thank you and I need this and this. And it's like, okay, you have to be at least 30. I think I was done. I had you, and some kids were in the program for 4 years, but everything that you talked about, and it shows that it's needed here, and what you're doing is extremely important. And on behalf of this board and myself and them to the president, we thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And keep on doing what you do.
Will do.
I can see it. He's so excited. I felt the same way when I went on my first one. Like, what do you mean I got to walk the halls at 2 a.m? So, but the kids are wonderful, and it
Yes,
shows,
yeah.
right? Great leadership creates excellent followers.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on to discussion items, interactive flat panels for elementary school classrooms. Soup.
Thank you. At this time, I will have Tom. Okay, I'll let you. Tom to come up to present our elementary classroom AV projects. And we're excited because as we
Yes, we are.
transition into the 21st century, we are definitely on the cutting edge of providing these resources in our classrooms to close that achievement gap through technology. And our IT department has done a phenomenal job with introducing new and innovative approaches of learning. So I thank you and I commend your department.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Superintendent, and good evening, Board. The technology improvements from our 2020 bond have included a lot of different things, some very easily visible, some of them kind of behind the scenes, behind the walls, literally. One of the more visible aspects is the interactive flat panels that have been installed in classrooms in the high school, the middle school, WHRC, and Whitman Elementary schools. We're pretty much looking at displays like the TVs here in the room, a large format display for student engagement, and it's interactive that the teachers can teach from that board. They don't have to be tied to their desk on their computer. They can interact with it. It provides a lot of new tools and again, just the interactivity and being able to provide this very visually appealing mode of presentation for the students. So I've already listed the buildings that these have been installed in. Yes. Phase 3 of this AV project is to complete the equipping of the remaining schools with very similar technology across the district. It's going to include the 86-inch Boxlight interactive flat panels, sound bar, an audio and voice lift system, which is simply a microphone that the teachers can wear. It reduces any vocal strain for the teachers trying to talk in their classrooms all day, and is able to get that increased audio volume across anything that they're presenting on those boards. This will also have a height adjustable mobile cart so that Wonderful. we can accommodate students from the lower L all the way up to the high schoolers, and they'd be able to reach and interact with this as well as the teachers. So this phase 3 project would include 115 of these interactive flat panels with their carts, the sound bar, the voice list system, assembly and delivery. It is a REMC cooperative bid pricing in the amount of $547,100.00 with an additional $82,065.00 district managed project contingency for a total cost of $629,165. Any questions on this part?
Board, any questions? Trustee Bowman?
What is the coverage, the warranty for the products that we are now purchasing?
I want to say it's a 5-year.
Okay.
Actually, I have the quote. I can check on that exactly, but if there was another question, though.
Yes. Treasurer Terry?
Yes. Timing wise, I know you mentioned information about the construction and stuff, but timing wise, do we have any estimated timing on the expectation to have everything installed and active?
The expectation is the vendor has all of these on hand, ready to go. And we're looking at a very, very quick deployment on this. I believe during first semester.
Before the December break, I would anticipate they'd be completed.
Okay. Thank you.
And it is a 5-year warranty confirmed on the quote.
Trustee Kraft?
Are those the similar units that are in the middle school and the high schools?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Those are the ones we
Actually
saw,
slightly
right?
bigger.
Yes. Oh, wonderful.
They're slightly larger units than what's in those buildings.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, so I was actually over at the schools today and I saw them. I was in love with them.
Oh, well, yeah.
So
We did the tour. I fell in
I
love
was
with
in
it.
love with them. So
Yeah.
yeah, and our babies need it all.
It really helps the staff being able to have different modes of presentation, the tools that are available on it, and it's
you eliminate a lot of the issues that you may have with projectors, from having to have the dim classroom lighting to be able to see it, or replacing the consumables like the bulbs. So it's a really good new product line that's come out for that large format display.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We all set? Okay.
Thank you.
Now let's move down to action item. Approval of interactive flat panels for elementary school classroom. I need a motion on the floor.
So move.
Support.
Moved by trustee Bowman, supported by treasurer Terry. Any questions, concerns, or comments? I have one comment. Madam Superintendent, appreciate what you're doing and what we're looking at for our children. And we're moving into the future.
Yes.
We have moved into the future for our children with all the things we're doing, with programs that you're bringing in, with this new modern equipment that we're using. And I think this is excellent. And let's continue to look at what can benefit our children, not just programs themselves, but also interactive things that we're using, because I think it's extremely important. And we can always say, and when we go to the various conferences outside of the state of Michigan, we can say where we move towards modern technology and where we are. And I appreciate you guys doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments, questions, guys? We good? Roll call, Madam Secretary.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
And Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you, madam. Before we continue with the agenda, I want to, if I can, take a point of privilege for about 5 minutes of your time. If I can. I wanted to bring to everyone's attention that today is a special day, but today is also a day of, how can I put this?
Bittersweet.
A bittersweet day. And today is one of our family members' last meeting. He has made the decision to move forward, and move on, and to enjoy his family. And I just wanted to take a point of privilege to recognize this young man for the fine job that he's done since I've been on this board, and how he has actually gotten me interested in the financial part of the district, because my previous years, those were the times that I fell asleep when it came to the budget. But because of how he has gained the interest of this board, and not only meeting with us here, but in various closed sessions and tutoring us, and it gave us the knowledge that we needed to understand what our job entails to do when it comes to the financial aspect of this district. And that says a lot about him to take his own time to do so. I want to personally thank you, and I'll allow the other board members to speak. But thank you. And trust you will be missed. But I think the superintendent told me, I'm not mistaken, that you're just a phone call away. Not to step on the young man that's coming in. We don't want to do that. But every now and then, we just want to call you to see how you're doing.
I'm fine with that.
And we appreciate you.
I'll be on a beach chair somewhere.
That's all right. Just send us a voicemail. We don't mind leaving your voicemail. And if we can, at the end of the meeting, Frank, I don't know if you brought your camera, but at the end of the meeting, which shouldn't be long, we'll get out of here in a good time. If we could take a picture together with the superintendent and the board and the assistant superintendents, and so we can put that in our album. And we're going to do that because we are family. And we want to do that for everybody that's in part of this diocese, because you all are important. And I want to thank you. Long distance handshake.
Thank you.
And
Pleasure.
Thank you. Trustee Davis Smith.
I just want to thank you, Mr. Graham, for all the hard work that you did to keep us on our toes and be good shepherds of the dollar for our district. And thank you for explaining to us in a way that we can understand how to manage money, our forecast, and other things. You kept me busy, staying up late at night trying to figure out things. But you always explained in a great way, and I thank you so much for all your patience and help with our district. And we're definitely gonna miss you. It was a shock to me to hear that you were leaving, and I was devastated. But I know you were in the process with us along the way to help us to make sure that we stay on the right track with our new director coming in. So thank you so much,
Thank you.
and enjoy your retirement.
Enjoy it. Trustee Bowman.
I just, again, thank you. We can't say it enough. And thank you for your strategies and the way you help this district rebound in such a way. You will be greatly missed. Thank you for our tutoring sessions, because this board has definitely been brought up to speed when it comes to that budget. And thank you for how you've always made it easy for the community to understand what's going on. And just, we appreciate you, and I'm glad that you're only a phone call away, because, and again, not to step on anybody's toes, but you are a very trusted individual, and I thank you for helping out our community in such a way.
Thank you very much. Trustee Craig.
Yes, thank you for your professionalism and just your knowledge. You know, the only thing that I regret right now is that I didn't have enough time with you where I can learn more.
Yeah.
Because I got on the board, I made it to the board the beginning of the year, and like I said, it's just not enough time, and I've learned enough, you know, through you, and I just enjoy your retirement.
Thank you.
Yep.
Trustee Treasurer Terry.
Well, I know it's been a short period of time, but you know, what, less than 2 years now, probably less than 2 years, whatever.
Yes.
But you know, I've been quite eager with numbers, and you know, it's been a very learning experience. I'll put it like that. Just being on the board and just having that background knowledge that you provided for us, and all of the different accounts and all of the different approaches and everything that plays a role, it's a lot. So I take my hat off to you, because it is a lot, and then to manage that and to stay on task and to continue to move forward, it takes a lot. So congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for all you have done, and I wish you the best. Wish you the best.
Thank you. Keep asking questions. There you go. Madam Secretary.
Yes. Just as Trustee Terry said, I know our acquaintance has been short, but I appreciate you sharing your gifts with us. I really appreciate the work that you've done and helping us to right-size things, and I wish you the best.
Thank you. It really, truly has been a pleasure. I never thought I would these last 4 years would go by in some ways very fast, some ways very slow, but to be part of such a great turnaround and know I, in my way, helped to do that. It's just, I'm very grateful, and I feel more like I've earned my retirement now, so I will enjoy it. So thank you. I got my stripes.
Well, we got one more thing for you, Mr. Graham. And I want to present this to you on behalf of our president, Gil Garrett, in his absence, and the entire board, Madam Superintendent, Assistant Superintendents. I want to read to you this plaque of appreciation that we're giving you, okay? With great appreciation, we honor James Graham. Upon your retirement, we thank you for your years of service to the Pontiac School District. We wish you joy and success as you embark on the next chapter of your life. From the school district of the city of Pontiac, September 11th in the year 2023. Thank you. And again, we'll take some pictures at the end, Frank. We'll get the pictures one because we'll get through this real quick. And those of you who want to stay, you can stay. But thank you, my friend. Wow, I've never done that one before. I like that. That's a good. Hey, I like that. I felt more comfortable. Watch out, Gil. I didn't mean that. I just let us move on to our. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Let us move down. Regular working agenda. I had a conversation with the president who had the supervisor-employee relationship policy placed on here. We're actually going to table that for the board governance. This was just for your information purposes only, and we'll discuss that further when we meet, when our board governance upon the return from our trip to Chicago. If that's fine with the board members, we can move forward.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Appreciate all of you. Our next is General Counsel, Human Resources, discussion item, ITA Principal Candidate. Presenter, Assistant Superintendent Yolanda Kellum, but I'm going to turn it over to, and I need to say this, we've been waiting on this and we thank you.
Yes, I know.
Madam Superintendent.
Thank you. Yes, the trustees have been waiting on it. The community has been waiting on this position to be filled. It was hard to fill Principal Spencer's shoes. He has done a phenomenal job with the ITA program, and we thank him for his services. But we are blessed to be able to bring you a candidate that has been vetted through a very strategic interview task performance process. And with that, I feel confident after speaking with our candidate and making sure that he is bringing the skill set as well as the mindset to do this role and to be able to build the relationships needed to continue our program at the International Technology Academy. At this time, I will turn it over to Mrs. Callum, and she will introduce the candidate that we are bringing forth as the recommendation.
Thank you, Superintendent. Good evening, trustees,
Good evening.
staff, community. I bring before you tonight for discussion and action, ITA Principal Candidate for Hire, Matthew Carafa. The proposed 2023-2024 contract will secure Matthew Carafa's contract and shall be at the annual rate of $127,933 prorated by number of days worked in the 23-24 school year. If the operating tax levy for a given fiscal year increases greater than 3% from the previous fiscal year tax levy, the salary schedule increase shall equal 50% of the percentage increase above 3%. For example, if the tax levy increases 6%, then the wage scale shall increase 1.5%, which is 6% minus 3% times 50%. The salary schedule increase shall not exceed 5% in any given school year. Funding source is general fund. Recommendation, it is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the contract of Matthew Carafa, ITA principal, from September 11, 2023 through June 30, 2024. His resume and certification were attached, and Mr. Carafa is in the audience.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm going to move down to action items to get the approval. And upon approval, we'll have a discussion. Sounds good, board? Okay. Approval of ITA principal candidate. I need a motion on the floor to accept.
So move.
Moved by trustee Bowman, supported by trustee Davis Smith. Roll call.
VP Gross,
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
and Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
Passes, sir, 6-0.
Now we have a new family member. Come forward, young man, to the podium. And look, he's even wearing that Phoenix color.
That's what how you beat me to the punch.
I'm sorry, trustee.
You beat me
Hey,
to
see,
the punch.
he got a Phoenix bag. Look at you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the family.
You beat me
Come
to the
on
punch.
down.
I was about to get him.
Yes. And I wanted to, before you speak, I had a conversation with our board president earlier, and he supports you 100%.
Thank you. I
And I want to
appreciate
put that on the record.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Floor is yours.
I want to thank everybody, the board and the administration for having me here tonight. It's been a long process as the superintendent talked about, and I am very excited. Just hearing just some of the programs that are happening here, the mentorship programs, and then hearing about how you honor some staff members who are retiring or who are moving on. It's just, it makes me want to be a part of it more. And you're not filming this, are you? Because it makes me want to be part of it even more. And I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to get to work. So
Amen. We love it. Thank you.
thank you. Yes. Sorry.
Man, kids are gonna love you, man.
Yeah. Well,
Trustee
I hope so.
Bowman.
Thank you.
Welcome to the family. I can't wait to see you get your feet wet in here in the Pontiac home, but we are family, so welcome and can't wait to see you around.
I'm excited. Thank you very much.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes, congratulations. And my next question is, and you like you could hoop. Did you play
Yeah.
basketball?
A little bit, yeah. Not in college, but I did play basketball in high school, coaching basketball when I was a teacher too. So a lot of experience with that. And, I'm excited. I'm excited. Hey, if you want to ever get a one-on-one, let's do it. I'm not like what I used to be, but I can still, gotta.
Yeah. Well, I was over there today at your school. And I love that new gym.
Mm-hmm.
So in the multi-purpose gym, hey, you hit it right on point. So I'll shoot the first three on you.
You got it. You got it.
Trustee Terry. Treasurer Terry.
Welcome. Glad to have you on our team. I hope it's everything you've kind of wished for and we meet your expectations. But once again, welcome and let's continue to push Pontiac forward. So
Let's do it.
let's do this.
My friend.
Awesome. It's good to see your passion. So I'm glad to have you join the school district, and we're here to support you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Trustee David Smith.
Congratulations and welcome aboard to our family. It's great to have you here, and we are a family and we welcome you. If you ever need any help with anything, we're there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And lastly, we don't have long for the agenda.
Sure.
So if you could stick around too, we could take a group picture.
For sure.
Because we take them when they leave. So now it's time to take them when they come aboard.
It's a
You
good,
like that?
good tradition.
Take them when you come aboard, and we can actually put those in our photo album. So stick around, can you?
Thank you. I will.
We appreciate you.
Sure. And I just want to say one more thing. And I told the administration that when we were
You have the
talking,
time.
that I appreciate the opportunity. I'm glad to be here. And I will tell you that nobody will work harder for the board than I will. So I'm here.
And your resume tells us that. And these young ladies here tells us that.
They did their work.
We
They did
appreciate.
their
Oh,
job.
without a doubt. Listen. Let me tell you, long process.
Yes.
And you made the cut.
Well,
So
thank
that
you.
says a lot about you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's go down to, there's no curriculum reports. Doc said, no. We can speak if you like. We got time. It's not even 7 o'clock. We good? There's the voice that keep it moving. Listen, I don't do this often, so hey, I need to get my No, I love it. This is wonderful. I'm enjoying this. Operation maintenance items, discussion items, Harrington and Rogers, fire alarm equipment, pre-purchase. Madam Superintendent.
Thank you. This is another bid package coming before the board for the recommendation to purchase the fire alarm system equipment for Rogers and Harrington. As you know, this falls under the protocols of safety and being proactive to ensure that our schools are equipped with the proper safety fire alarms. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Mr. England.
Thank you, Superintendent. Good evening, everyone. Robert
evening, sir.
England, Facilities Director. Yes, this is the last item of our pre-purchase for Harrington and Rogers. All the other items that you guys have already approved that we consider long lead items. Another thing to be proud of, this is a very technology-driven fire alarm system. This
Yes.
thing talks to you when it goes off. Hopefully, you'll never hear them go off, but when they do, even when we test them at the high school, it's just unique. It's, they used to scare you, and now the 1 year, please proceed to the next exit. And it's really technology driven. There's a lot that goes into these. This did take a little bit, so we're excited to bring this forward. Again, I'll read some of the basics of the bear. This was something that we put out publicly for bid. We're calling this bid pack 33 and 36 for Rogers and Harrington. We did receive bids on August 29th of 2023, and the proposals were jointly reviewed between Barton and Marlboro, John Stoner, District Administration, and Integration Designs, our architect. So there was the only bidder. This is a source that's something that is used by our current vendor. One of the nice things about this is it's an open source technology to where we're not locked into one vendor. Years ago, we were locked into Tyco or some other brands that we had some difficulties with. So the big part of this is our monitoring service. If their customer service ever changes, we have the latitude to go to another company or another monitoring service. So this is something that's a Honeywell system that's widely used in the industry. Again, the bidder was at $69,929. And it is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Education approve bid pack 33 and 36 for the pre-purchase fire alarm system for Rogers and Harrington at a cost of which I just mentioned, $69,929, plus a 20% contingency of $13,986. These things, sometimes they have different runs for the cabling and things, and that's why we wanted to have the contingency in there for this. If there's any questions, I'll try to answer them. You should have some of the bid pack information and the bidder also in the in the package.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Move down to action items, approval of Harrington and Rogers fire alarm equipment pre-purchase. I need a motion. Motion.
Support.
Moved by Trustee Davis Smith, supported by Trustee Bowman. Question, concerns, or comments? Mr. Terry.
Yes. Just real quick. The systems that we're getting now, is this the same systems that we have currently?
Yeah, Honeywell has been our standard for a while.
Okay.
And again, just for clarity, if I did not mention this, this is for procurement of the equipment only.
Correct.
All set,
Thank
sir?
you.
Good cut, yeah. I want to thank you, Soup, for this is an excellent upgrade because the old alarms, you guys, okay, how many of you guys remember back in the day, the biggest prank or to get out of class was to do what? So you all familiar with that. See, I knew that. I never did it. I'm not going to say it's a trustee over here may have done it. I think he's wearing the purple. No. You want to get out of class? I'm sorry. But I appreciate you. This is wonderful. Let's keep doing it again. I'm going to reiterate, we're moving to modern technology, and it shows where we are as a district. And thank you. Appreciate it. Any more comments, questions, concerns? We're good? Roll call.
All right. I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
And VP Gross.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Now we're down to communication, petitions, and delegations. I'm going to ask the VP, do we have any? No, we do not. So we move forward. Board comments and announcements. I spoke in the third person. Board comments. You have any?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yes, Trustee Davis Smith. I want to make sure you're good to go.
I just want to say I'm excited for our new school year, and I hope that the parents come out not only for the sports, but also to support their kids in their education. They have a voice, and their children need their support in order to become successful young adults. Thank you. Have a blessed night.
Thank you so much. Trustee Bowman.
I'm excited about the new school year. It is, Pontiac continuing to move forward. This was a wonderful meeting. Have a good night.
Thank you. Trustee Kraft. I didn't mean to call you out like that, man. You were an excellent student.
We didn't have fire alarms. We had gongs back in the day. But yes, I like to go through. I wrote down a few things because I had a wonderful day. I started off the day. I called Trustee Terry, and he kind of reminded me that he was up at the Peace Academy welcoming the kids. So I slipped on my shirt and everything, and I went down there, and it was a wonderful experience. Just my first time being down there welcoming my babies back into school, our future rocket scientists and stuff. So that was a good thing. Then I got on the road. I turned around and I went out to the middle school. I wanted to see how things were going up there. I was actually excited. I looked and I saw how the computer labs were and all the computers around there and everything. You got to remember, we went back to school back in the 70s there. And it's just a total change up in there. It's a beautiful school.
It is.
The environment there is, the kids, the morale is up. And I went into the gym. They were playing, having fun. Then I turned around and went up to ITA ILA. And that's where I spent most of my time today. And I was actually able to see how everything operated. It's so beautiful in there, in those schools. And what our people need to do is come in there and see what we have here and the amenities. And I give it to you over there for making everything happen. And I went in there and I saw the gym. I didn't know it was two gyms. We had the regular gym and the multi-purpose gym. The multi-purpose gym is off the chain. And I had fun. And I sat down and I had lunch with the third graders, and we talked about football and Spider-Man. It was such a wonderful experience today. And now just to know that our elementary kids are going to have them flat panel television to do interactive, and I'm so excited about this district and the progress that we're making and going forward. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. And thank you for being a strong board and supporting me.
There's it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, you all right. You all right.
You got a little passion.
Oh, no, man, see, man, you got more excited than me, and I thought I was the most excited one. Treasurer Terry.
Good evening, everybody. Another wonderful meeting. I want to thank everybody for your time, your effort, your dedication to making this happen. For those that are leaving, wish you the best. And for those that are coming, wish you the best as well. Much success as we continue to push Pontiac forward. As Troy mentioned, good time this morning over there at Peace Academy. Good seeing all the little people coming in. You have your mix, some that's happy, some that don't want to be there. But it was just good, to see the smiles on their faces, the smiles on the parent faces, just, being there, just being able to greet them and welcome them and everything. So it was a good experience. Haven't seen all the other places, but I'm hoping to get there on the radar. I missed the clap in, but I hope the clap in was a success as well. So hopefully that boosted their morale and, spirit as well. As far as the sports, I'm in agreement. Let's continue to move forward. I believe it's a game this Thursday. We won't be there, unfortunately, but there's going to be a home game Thursday. So if you're available, come out Thursday and support the football team. Other sports are out there as well. So feel free. If you're not a football fan, jump in some of the other sports. And as my other trustee mentioned, there's other activities going on at the schools too, that if you're not a sports fan, that you can still come out and help out and still give back and participate and be involved with the kids as well. Other than that, I want to say thank you again. Awesome presentation on the image. It was wonderful. Imagine. Wonderful presentation on that. And I look forward to having another successful year and hopefully get more participation as they seem, very eager and enthused and want to push forward with that and expand that program out. And mentoring, I believe, is very important. As we all know, we kind of grew up with different childhood experiences, and sometimes we do lack that. So I think that is very important, especially being here in Pontiac. Outside of that, thank you, everybody, and have a good evening.
All right. Thank you.
Madam Secretary.
Yeah, I like all the positive energy tonight.
too. I
This
love
has
it.
been
I
really
love it.
good.
I love
Feel good emotions and stuff. But thank you again, Jim, for your service to the district, and welcome our new ITA principal. We really do look forward to having you with us. I'm not going to repeat everything that everybody else said. I'm so happy that Trustee Crafto had such an amazing day within our district.
Everywhere.
Within the district. But I'm really excited and proud of the school district and all the things that we're doing. I just hope that our families can appreciate it and get a chance to come out and take advantage of and just see all the positive things that's happening within our school district. So that's all I have for us tonight. So thank you.
Thank you more. Well, tonight was a display of where we are and where we're going as a district. And I want to say my appreciation to all of you, but I also want to say my heartfelt appreciation to our trustee for being here this evening. And we know what you're going through. And I love you. We love you. And this district supports you. So it says a lot about you. You didn't have to be here tonight, but you made that decision to be here. And we appreciate you. Thank you more. I thank everyone that's in this audience and those who are watching for the job that you're doing for our children. And it says people, the students tend to model what they see in adults. And if they continue to see what they're seeing here, they will continue to be great students because you all are great. Sometimes you may not feel you get the recognition that you deserve, and you may not hear it all the time. But do know this. It's seen at this level. It's talked about at this level. It's recognized at this level. And we hope that at this level, in the positions we're in here, that we can do what we can do to ensure that we not only tell you, but show you. And that's important. Right? That's important. Because together we stand, divided we fall. And togetherness has brought us here, where we are. Mr. Graham, thank you. Thank you. And that's important. Madam Superintendent, thank you for the decisions you made to put the people in the positions that they're in now, because they're making a difference. And that says a lot about you. Continue to live and live happily. Appreciate all of you. We're going to be leaving soon, and we'll be back, and we're going to represent this district, this city, our students, our staff, nationally. We're gone for a few days, but remember, we're representing you, and we're doing what we can do to ensure that we bring back the information, but doggone it, we sharing the information too. And I'll leave what gentleman at my old church used to tell me. He used to tell me, young deacon, keep living right. Life only gets gooder and gooder. So we're getting gooder and gooder. Thank you. I need a motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Bowman, supported by Trustee Davis Smith. Questions, concerns, or comments? Hearing none. Roll call.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith,
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
And I'm voting yes. Motion carried.
Thank you. And I'm not bragging. It's only 7:06. If we can have Mr. Graham come in, we'll take pictures separately with the two of you. And then we can